Hey guys, what's up? It's Gracie. It is Tuesday, November 21st, I believe. And yeah, I'm doing this Q&A. No, it's the 22nd. I'm doing this Q&A for you guys. I posted this sexy pic on Instagram yesterday to try and get some questions, and I got 100. So I had my assistant highlight the actual questions that needed to be answered, and we'll get started. My husband challenged me that I couldn't do this video without doing outtakes on the intro. The morning of our wedding, I passed him my camera before leaving and asked him to clear room on the memory card, just to delete everything that was on there. And he found a lot of footage of me saying, "Hey guys, what's up?" to the camera, and then no, and it was really embarrassing. And I always hoped no one would ever see that stuff. So, yeah, no outtakes today. Okay, first question. How do you like SARMs if you have used them, and if so, which ones are the best for strength? Don't know, never used them, don't plan on it. Sorry guys. I know I was supposed to look into that, but I never did. Are you allowed to compete in the USAPL now that you're off roids? I don't know the answer to that, but I would never do it, and I think it's wrong for people who have previously sauced, even if they got clean for a while, a year, 2 years, whatever. You know, that foundation was still built using PEDs, and I don't think it's right to then just stop taking them and go lifting the USAPL. I would never do it. But I mean, I guess if you can pass a drug test, maybe it's okay, but in the rule book, but I don't think so, because I know in a lot of federations, not in a lot of federations, but when I first started out lifting the IPF, it was so small time, in my hometown, that the drug test was just a verbal questionnaire. So, anyways. Okay. Have you ever tried Superdrol? There's little info online about the effects on women in particular. We would love to hear your thoughts on it. I don't know what Superdrol is, so sorry. What's the best liver protection supplement on a cycle? Actually, if you want to watch I forget what the name of it is, but it's in my office at work. I listed my supplements in my first ever day in the life, which was, if you just search Gracie V Day in the Life, it's the part 1. Pretty sure it's that one. It has that product in there. Thoughts on using amino acids, specifically from animalpack.com, and would you still consider that drug-free? Yeah, that's drug-free. It's definitely not gonna, anyways, yeah, I take amino acids. I use Intracell from Primeval Labs. I like the watermelon flavor, actually at Primeval. Yeah, if you guys go on there, use code GracieV20 to save 20%. How did you start your own gym, and what's your drive? Well, how I started my own gym? Well, we used to train at a world gym in San Diego, and we had a powerlifting team, and we'd constantly be buying our own stuff, our own equipment, and bringing it in there, and eventually it was just no, we need our own place. And one of my clients at the time, one of my students or lifters, Russell Kern, he wanted to open up a place with me. So that's how California Elite Training Center became. Yeah, I got a partner, and we had a vision, and we wanted to create the coolest fucking powerlifting gym around. And yeah, now it is. What's your drive? Well, I mean, I don't have any kind of a pension plan. So definitely my drive is, I just want to have a really good life, and I want to, whenever I stop working, whenever I'm older, and my husband will joke, "Oh, that's pretty soon." Haha. Anyways, I wanna continue having a good life even after I stop working and I retire. That's my drive. I just want to be happy and I don't want to have to work all the time, and it's great the way my life is set up now. There's a lot of balance in my life, and that's my drive. I never want to have to, work for the man. Right. How much of a drop in strength did you notice, and how quickly? Are you training differently now, so it would be hard to gauge? This is talking about whenever I came off steroids. Yeah, it's hard to gauge for me because I stopped training seriously for a couple months before I went off, and then I got a boob job, so I wasn't training for about, seriously for a month or two after that, and now I'm starting to pick it back up, and the strength is coming back really fast actually. I just benched 185 at a little local competition on the weekend, and my raw squat is coming back up. So yeah, it's hard to gauge, but I mean, I think if I would have continued training regularly, it wouldn't have been as drastic as it was. But it's not that bad. Like, I competed at the Olympia. I hadn't taken anything in June, July, August, September, in 5 months, and I was about 25 pounds under what I had hit the previous year, so it wasn't that bad. Hey, get out of here. I was also gonna ask if you had any leftovers. That original comment was from Jordan Wong. LOL. But what's the deal on coming off? Is it indefinitely? No, I mean, it's pretty definite. I don't plan on ever going back on. But I mean, I didn't throw my shit out, so I guess there's a reservation there somewhere. All my training partners think that eventually I'll come back around. Anyways. Somebody asked if it was because I wanted to have kids. No, that's not the answer. I don't want kids. Have you had any side effects that have lasted longer than you'd like? I mean, I'm so used to the side effects I deal with every day now from taking steroids that I don't know, it's not really something I'm too worried about or thinking about. I mean, well, yeah, they're permanent, so that is longer than I'd like, but honestly, it really doesn't bother me so many years later. Have you ever taken something that you think might have been something else? Yes. I was getting ready for a meet a couple years ago, and I thought I was taking Anavar, and I used to really bump up the dose to almost 100 milligrams a day before the meet, 3 or 4 weeks out. Okay, 4 weeks out. I don't need to lie about it now. And I think it was D-ball or something. My blood pressure was very, very, very high, very scary. So yeah. I had never had that happen with Anavar before, so for sure I think it was something else. Then we have one of my Paxters here. Have you had any side effects that have lasted longer than you'd like? Have you ever taken something you think might have been something else? Oh, sorry, that is the same question. What's the best way to get rid of water retention from PEDs? Well, I mean, I guess just changing what you take, because everybody's different and everybody reacts differently. I know some people EQ would blow them up, but for me it kept me really lean. Or maybe taking an anti-estrogen like Novodex, something like that. What is your motivation? That's such a loaded question. This is a business for me, my Instagram and having endorsements and having clients and, selling myself to get online clients, that's business, and and I talked about it before, how like I want to have a good life and I want my life to be set up, you know, where there's like a lot of balance and family time and hobby time and then business, and lifting has become like, you know, my business. So that's my motivation. I just, you know, and now like as I get older and get more experience, I want to become like a respectable part of the business community here in San Diego, and I want to work with different Millie. I want to work with different companies and not just in the fitness industry, but yeah, that's my motivation. Will you ever do a video chronicling your relationship with Gage? I mean, no. But if somebody has a question, you can ask it and I'll answer it. Yep. Are you planning on having a family? If so, does your previous use of PEDs worry about the baby's health? I'm not planning on having any kids, but even if I did, me taking steroids in the past, no, it's not going to affect my baby's health. I know it won't affect, you know, my ability to have kids because, like, I get a period regularly now and everything. So... I'm really interested in beginning powerlifting, but I also want to lose weight. Is it possible to do that? Yes, it's totally possible. Whenever I first got into powerlifting, like I wanted to lose weight and I was like just so like beat down from like trying to diet, trying to do cardio, and then finally I was told like, oh, you could also like do powerlifting and then you don't need to like worry about your weight. Well, I did that and it was finally like once in my life I was like, oh fuck, finally I don't have to like worry about being skinny or try to be skinny. I can just focus on getting strong, and I train harder than ever, and now I'm in the best shape of my life. So yeah, powerlifting goes hand in hand with looking good and being fit. Yes. What are the most common compounds used for female powerlifting? It's hard to say because I only know like the girls that I coach and what I recommend them to take. So in our circles, it's like Anavar, it's the most common, and really, we really want to tap out that avenue before going to injectables. So I don't have a lot of girls taking injectables. But the ones that are finally like, okay, I want something more, then I recommend EQ. It says here, I know what's going on in bodybuilding. This is the same guy. I know what's going on in bodybuilding, but curious what is used for maximum strength amongst females. Mild, like VAR, primo, or full-blown test and tren cycles. I do know, you know, females who take test and tren. I don't think it's okay. How often does it happen? I don't know. Sorry, the washing machine's super fucking loud. Okay. How much and what did you take? I'm guessing 5 to 10 milligrams of Anavar wouldn't make a woman look necessarily like she is on gear. No, it would not. What I took, how much and what did you take? Well, that's answered in my previous Q&A about steroids, so you can check that out. I've taken it all. And I took a shit ton of it. And then towards the end it was like less and less and less, and I began to realize like less is more, but it talks about it in that video. What's the most effective drug for women to take for peak strength? Also, how many women in powerlifting are taking full-blown male cycles like test, tren, suspension, halotestin? I mean, like I said before, I don't know how many of them, but the ones that are at the very top of multiply, yes, they're taking test from what I can see, from how fast they're changing. Yeah. The top of raw, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure, I know like they must also like, yeah, some of those chicks are very, yeah, very nothing. I don't know what I was gonna say there, but yeah, I'm sure some of them take full-blown male cycles, but I know a lot of them don't, so I don't know. All I know is what I know, you know, what I've done. So yeah, I don't go around asking chicks what they take. Did you use birth control while on steroids? Do they work at the same time, or did they for you? I was taking a pill for several years before I went on, and when I went on, I was told to stop taking it because like you don't want to be putting estrogen in your body, you know, whenever you're also trying to get rid of it, or put in the opposite. So no, I wasn't on birth control the entire time I was taking steroids, and then but I know a lot. Some women they do the IUD, which is there's one that's non-hormonal, and that's what I have now. Yeah. So, the one I have is called Paragard, and it's good for 12 years. And they just put it in, and that's it for 12 years. And yeah. So, I think that they still work though, for sure. If you take it, it's just kind of like confusing your body, but I haven't heard of them not working because you take shit, but it's just like, well, why would you take it if you're also on shit? Anyways. Do you feel like you have had any negative reactions, stigma, judgment from people being a woman who takes steroids? Well, yeah, of course. Fuck, you should see some of the comments I get on here sometimes. If you could go back and do anything differently, would you? Sorry for so many questions. All the last three were from her or him. No, I wouldn't do anything differently. I mean, I totally believe that you know, this was my path. But I can better guide now, like the females that come to me for advice. Knowing what I know now, I would definitely not get them to do the same things I did. Are you and your mother-in-law close in age? She looks great. Yes, she does. And, yes. We are closer in age than I am with her son. She will be 36 years old on Monday. Yes. What's the hardest part about coming off? I mean, whenever you max out and you're like, oh shit, I'm like 80 pounds away from my PR. And I guess I'd like to know about how you feel about your overall strength now opposed to being on this stuff. Was it a drastic transformation or transition, gradual? Does it feel any different? Did you notice a decline in strength or energy? Congrats on military muscle, by the way. They are my family from afar. Right on. I pretty much answered that in one of the first questions that for me, like I wasn't really training. So yeah, whenever I finally got back to it, there was like a huge decrease in strength, but now as it's been a couple months I'm training regularly, it's coming back up. So I don't know. How do I feel about my overall strength? I mean, I'm happy with it now. Like I'm maxed out tonight and I was super happy with what I hit. I hit a box squat plus bands with a buffalo bar, and I hit 357 plus 90 pounds of bands in briefs. Box squat. I was super happy with that. How have you dealt with the differences of being off steroids psychologically? Love you, Mama Cats. Love you too, Bridget Cats. There hasn't been any psychological changes. It's just about like the mentality of being in the gym and just being okay with not being as strong as I used to be. And like, yeah, to me, having boobs now is like so fucking worth it. I only got them because like I was like ready to stop taking stuff, you know, and I'd done the things I wanted to do, hit the numbers I wanted to hit. But yeah, so I'm totally fine with not being as strong as I was. and that's really the only thing like that I've had to deal with. How's benching after you had your procedure? Also, what is the most efficient way to build strength, especially for a natty female? Well, I mean, the most efficient way to build strength, whether you're taking shit or not taking shit, most of the women I coach about 50 women. Most of them are natural, and we train using the conjugate system, and that's the most efficient way to build strength, in my opinion. And how has benching been after your procedure? It's been great. It feels fine, and it's coming back, and nothing hurts, and it's not like everybody's like, oh, you can like bench to like boards now. Basically, it's like, no, like obviously you're not fucking benching right if you're touching on your boobs. So it didn't decrease the range of motion at all. We touch under on the sternum, like under. Anyways. What kind of steroids did you take and for how long? Again, do you regret taking steroids? No. What would you do differently about using steroids? I mean, I wouldn't take all those drugs in the beginning whenever I was like trying to bodybuild. I would have like started with something like just like Anavar and like ran that for a couple of years instead of like adding in all these huge fucking compounds and fucking myself up. So yeah, maybe I regret it a little bit, okay? What type of diet were you on while using them? Negative side effects, and was it worth it? Well, it talks about the negative side effects in a Q&A I did with Meg Squats on her channel. And I'm just seeing the video time so it doesn't tap out. Yeah, all the negative side effects that you hear about females taking steroids, right here. They're true. Was it worth it? Yeah, it was worth it. Like, I had a fucking ton of fun whenever I was taking shit, you know, and like lifting in the biggest meets and yeah, keeping up with the rest of everybody who were lifting in those meets. What type of diet was I on? Well, I've never really dieted. Actually, tonight I'm gonna hire Tony Montgomery to help me with my... Yeah, I never dieted really whenever I was taking stuff, so it was just like eating enough. Like I ate like no ground turkey and rice, chicken and rice, ground beef and rice, just like lots of meat and rice, and you know, eggs and toast for breakfast and protein pancakes and stuff like that. Oh, you want to make your little appearance? Come here. No, you have to come here. Maybe he doesn't even want to. Come here. They just got a bath tonight. It's like, how blessed. They smell like green apples now, don't you? Oh God, you just smell so good. Okay, favorite way to get a raw squat with wraps up? Do wide stance box squats. That'll make you strong. Again, what steroids were you using? Fine, I guess I'll fucking answer it. I was, in the last few years, I used Anavar, EQ, and Deca. For the most part, it was Anavar and EQ, and then towards the last year and a half, it was Anavar and Deca. And I was taking anywhere from like, I don't know, probably 150, oh, excuse you, 150 to maybe 450 milligrams of EQ a week. Like, kind of varied over years, different training cycles. I don't really remember, it's a while ago. But EQ, it got pretty high towards the end, like 500-600 milligrams a week, I think, something like that. Going forward off gear, how do you work to normalize or optimize your hormones? Men have the TRT for a fallback, but what do women do? Stay badass. I don't know, I didn't do anything, I just stopped taking shit. And I got my period like a month or two later. Is getting good sources hard? Have you tried any SARMs yet? If so, how are the results? No SARMs, and yeah, finding a good source is hard. You definitely don't want to be buying your steroids online, that's for sure. Difference in training while on a cycle compared to off? There's absolutely no difference in the way we train. To date, what is your biggest accomplishment, lifting or not? Or none? My biggest accomplishment, I would say, I mean, there's been some big ones. I just celebrated 10 years clean off of drugs and alcohol. That's probably the biggest PR I've ever hit. And starting my DCS pack 3 years ago was a huge accomplishment, you know. So, but yeah, being clean, I mean, fuck, nothing can top that. Every other accomplishment is only a result of me being clean and in recovery. What got you into using steroids? I was just around like a lot of gym bros, and I thought that we're doing it, and yeah. I was around like the 24-hour fitness kind of scene where like maybe there was one person competing in bodybuilding shows, but like everybody else was just gym bros. So that's how I got into it. Would you ever go hard on them again, and if so, what would you do different? If I ever took them again, it would just be Anavar. Well, I say that now, who the fuck knows? I don't think I would go hard on them again. I mean, on the set, I don't ever want to take them again, so. Do you worry about the side effects that may occur when not taking gear after a period of time? What the fuck are you talking about? But for real, I have no idea what that even means. Are the doses of top guys as extreme as some forms claim? Or is the dosage pretty reasonable? Yeah, I've heard some really unreasonable dosages for men, but it's like, who the fuck knows? It's just the internet. It's none of my business what they take. Anything you do to prepare yourself mentally in case you experience strength loss over a while being off? Oh yeah, and please shout out to Belgium, woohoo. Shout out Belgium. I mean, you obviously have to be mentally prepared to get weaker whenever you go off. There's nothing that I did to like prepare myself for what I was going to experience. I mean, it's not the end of the world. It's very predictable. What made you want to initially get on steroids? Did you know what you were getting yourself into as far as side effects when you started? I mean, I was getting information from a female bodybuilder who looked like a dude, so I guess I kind of knew what the fuck I was getting into. I really wanted to be lean. That was my big thing. I really wanted to be lean, and I remember like in the beginning injecting my stomach like a sub-Q with I don't even know what it was, L-carnitine, some shit from Mexico, like that used to burn like fucking razors. And I would have done anything to be lean. Like, yeah. I just like didn't understand like how somebody could like do so much cardio and stuff, and it was pretty sad. And then once I found powerlifting, you know, I found like a way that I loved to train, and everything changed. Is gear something that you would recommend staying away from your experience? No. I mean, I'm a powerlifting coach. We want to be the strongest that we can be. So yeah, I'm not going to lie and say that I'm not excited whenever one of my clients comes to me and wants to get on shit. Of course, like, I'm not going to recommend it to all of them, but certain ones that I think that they could really take it to the next level, I'm excited for them. Will you ever go back on steroids? No, 99%. What did you take while on? See above. And then the rest are just really supportive comments and blessed things. So that's it. Thank you guys for all of these questions and comments. And yes, hopefully I'll get this up tomorrow on Wednesday the 23rd. Thanksgiving is this week. Janae Kroc is coming down to do some filming for a documentary that they're making about her this weekend. So I'm gonna vlog that. And yes, okay, I'll see you guys soon.